In this video, I'm going to show you guys Arisa, I'm going to show you guys Batiste, I'm going to show you guys Hanzo, and I'm going to show you Zen. And then I'm going to explain to you why these are the best 4 heroes in the brand new Overwatch meta, which will hit next week when barriers get nerfed, and why you should be playing these heroes. So, this is the best heroes to play in the brand new meta. The first hero we're going to take a look at is, of course, Batiste. He is insane in every single category. You have got a hero that is effectively better than Soldier 76 at doing damage, but also heals a ton and is just insane. Has got amazing ultimate, has an amazing immortality field, lots of amazing stuff. But before we go into detail onto Batiste, and you really need to play Batiste, guys, if you're a main support player. He's just insane. I'm going to show you guys this. So this is a video I made a couple of days ago, which showed the PTR meta, and this was the barrier busting, or the Batiste barrier busting meta. Now, this is built around Zen, Hanzo, Arisa, and Batiste, the 4 best heroes in this new meta. Make no mistake about it, guys, they are insane. The reason why is because Arisa is the best tank, but we'll get onto Arisa in a second. Hanzo, amazing shield, just destruction damage, blows away the enemy barrier, then just starts working on the enemy. Batiste is just amazing. His ultimate adds to the barrier damage. It's just so good. I mean, look at this ultimate. It's just crazy. Batiste is literally a walking highlight reel for supports. He's crazy. And of course, Zen adds to the damage coming into the barriers. And, well, there's no Doomfist because there's no double barrier. But before we get into this, ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you a beautiful, absolutely beautiful, brand new Unit Loss t-shirt. Take it away, Sty. Explain the t-shirt. It's awesome. This is the Overanalyzed 2019 Value Limited Edition t-shirt. This is only on sale this month, and the design of this, it's so fresh. It's just absolutely insane. Now, we've been working on this for ages. Like, I'm a fan of like gamer style merch, but I'm also a fan of like streetwear stuff, and this is just so awesome. So I'm going to run you through this t-shirt. It's amazing, guys. Just it's so goddamn good. So what it says is value. Whatever you do, always make sure you get the maximum out of every situation. Never aim for anything less than victory. Always remember your value. It is just absolutely beautiful. But not only the front, guys. Check out the back. Can you guys see that? It's just so awesome. Look at it. It's a massive, like, huge graphic print on the back. It's just amazing. So there you go, guys. The t-shirt is available for sale. Click the link in the video description below. Check it out. Buy it. It is awesome. I love it. And, well, I love you guys as well. All right, let's get stuck back into the video. So, Batiste. Why is he so good? Oh, my days. So, Batiste has incredible damage. Batiste has, this is for a support as well, but also he encroaches on the damage levels of your Soldier 76. Now, Batiste obviously has to heal as well. And the big argument with Batiste against Soldier, and why a lot of people are calling him Batiste 76 now, is yes, he has to make the decision. Does he heal? Does he do damage? But the fact that he can make that decision just makes him so potent. It is crazy. Immortality field, fantastically powerful. Stops enemy ultimates with one ability. It just stops loads of stuff. It's just incredible. His ultimate amplification matrix is just ridiculous. As we've seen, earlier on in this video, it turns Batiste into just this DPS god out of nowhere. I mean, look at this. Winston is coming in to fight me. I'm a support. I just killed him. I just literally killed Winston. He's a main tank. I walked in, immortality field down. Goodbye, Winston. You're dead. That's crazy. That's actually crazy that you can do that. This hero will be nerfed. Mark my words, guys. He will be nerfed. He is putting out way too much damage for a support. He's got just a lot of stuff going on. I think you bring his damage down, and then he's kind of okay. He's still going to add all of the other stuff that Batiste does. His immortality field, his amazing AoE healing, his regenerative field. All of that stuff. He's just going to bring it all. Like, he is insanely good. Like, I know I'm sitting here just going, he's insanely good, but he is insanely good. This is the best support in the game right now. You've got massive burst healing. You've got massive just keeping yourself alive. You can't die. Well, you should. Well, you can die, obviously, but you can keep yourself alive, which is awesome. You can also keep your other support alive, which, again, is absolutely amazing. And it means that it enables Zen, and we'll get onto the Zen in a second because I want to kind of spice this up and just go into DPS for a second. So I want to show you guys Hanzo. Now, at the start of the video, I showed you why Hanzo is pretty powerful. Or, well, I explained why he'd be pretty powerful. Because he can just delete barriers. Now, he can do that anyway. Now, this footage here is actually from the live service, so this isn't from the PTR. This is mainly because PTR, nobody plays on PTR, so it's very difficult to get footage. The enemy team are only running one tank, one barrier tank, which is good. So it kind of shows what I'm trying to show you guys. But Hanzo has always been really good at doing what you're seeing me do here, just deleting people from the game with beautiful headshots. But Hanzo's always been very good at destroying enemy tanks and destroying enemy barriers. Now, the barriers have got way less HP, so Hanzo becomes way more valuable. It is going to be powerful. The thing with Hanzo, though, he's got amazing synergy with Batiste and with Zen. Now, Zen has got amazing synergy with a lot of the DPS in the game, and even the tanks, really, and even the other supports, even Batiste, because of Discord Orb. It lets you delete tanks faster. One of the tanks in the game, Arisa, especially on the PTR, and this will be on live servers, obviously, is tankier than she was before. I know this sounds crazy to say, but she straight up is. A barrier is nerfed, sure, but the fact that she can use her shift ability more often means that she will, like Fortify, means that she is way more tanky. So you need Discord Orb to take out the Arisa. Hanzo works fantastically well with this because you can just delete tanks. It's almost like going back to Scatter Arrow when you fired that into the ground below an Arisa and removed from the game. Now you just got the Discord Orb on them and then you can remove them. Hanzo is phenomenally good. Like, the way I see this going is if you run with Arisa, if you run with Zen, if you run with the Hanzo and the Batiste, that's the core. The other two slots, you can kind of do whatever you like with them within reason. You could maybe go Sigma double barrier. You could maybe go Hog. You could maybe go Reinhardt. There's a lot of options, right? Your other DPS could maybe be a flanker. Maybe the buff Genji turns out okay. Because remember, we've got Zen here now. So Zen's a nice target for Genji. But the big one is not Batiste, sorry. I mean, he is the big one. But is Doomfist. Why am I not talking about Doomfist here? Now, the thing with Doomfist as a DPS is Doomfist was really strong when we were in double barrier. Simply because Doomfist was the one who could punch through the double barriers, quite literally. He would go straight through them, and he was the counter to that. Because we're moving out of that, or at least I believe we're going to slightly move out of that, or at least barriers won't be up as long, this means that if we've got tanks like Hog maybe thrown into the mix, it's going to make it more difficult for Doomfist to get value, but it brings Zen back into the game. The Batiste can look after the Zen. Maybe if your other DPS is taken up with a Mei, for example, that might mess up the Doomfist. So I think we're going to see Doomfist usage actually drop. But the fact is, Hanzo usage will go up. So if you're a DPS player, guys, bust out the Hanzo. You will just get, I don't want to say free elo, but you will get a lot of elo. And that's kind of the... It sounds wrong when I say this, like you're going to get free SR. You obviously need to play the game. Your team need to work together. Just selecting a hero doesn't mean you just win. But these 4 heroes will give you a much higher chance of winning, even if they're just on the team. Now, let's talk about Zen. So we did touch on Doomfist a bit here. So with, I mean, you can see there's Doomfist on the enemy team here. But with Doomfist being less of a pick, because the DPS are probably going to focus on Hanzo, probably going to focus on Mei, McCree maybe even Genji possibly. You're going to see less Doomfist, right? So this means you're going to see a bit more Zen. But the main thing with Zen, it's not about Doomfist or any of that. It's the fact barriers are weaker. It's the fact tanks are stronger, just because, I mean, not only Arisa's stronger, with armor just is stronger now in general. So you need that Discord Orb to delete the tanks quicker. This means Zen comes in. He can do long-range artillery damage, which has always been what Zen's good at. You can see me here, spamming through the choke. This is what Zen does. Now it's going to be more effective because barriers are weaker. The barriers drop. As soon as they drop, Discord Orb goes in. Your team keeps firing damage through. Your Hanzo's blasting away. Your Batiste blasting away. Fire Strike comes through from maybe your Reinhardt, or your Arisa's blasting away, or whatever other DPS you've got. They're blasting away. It's just, it is massive, right? We are definitely going back to Zen. Also with Zen, he gets a lot of value when he's only firing into one barrier. Now, this might sound crazy to say that, because obviously it's one barrier, it's got less HP, but it's not actually the barrier, it's the fact that you can fire around the barrier, which is really strong, yeah? If there's only one barrier, you get the off angle, bang, you do a ton of damage. Now, this extends as well to some DPS heroes like McCree, with only one barrier, and also Widowmaker as well, Soldier to some degree, although Soldier's in a really bad place right now. Ashe benefits from this. If you start using line of sight better, if you start using off angles on enemy barriers, you're going to be more effective. And Zen can exploit this as well. So you've got this sting in the tail back in the DPS, back in the support category, where you've definitely got the sting from Batiste because he's not immortal, but he can look after himself quite well. You've got Zen, very fragile, but if he stays with his Batiste should be able to keep him alive. It's almost like a weird version of when we used to have D.Va, who would peel to keep Zen alive back in dive meta. Not as extreme as that, because we're not using a tank for it, but Batiste can throw down Immortality Field if maybe your Zen's getting dove, keeps him alive, can just pump heals into him, which will keep him alive, can just shoot whoever's diving at them, at the Zen, which will just keep him alive. It is just such a powerful, like, powerful combo this support core of Zen and Batiste is going to be, it's just going to be ridiculous. So if you guys are going to play support, I'd highly recommend playing Zen or Batiste. The other supports, they can work. I'm not saying that they're just totally trash. I'm not saying like Moira, Mercy, you know, Brig maybe is totally trash. We're not sure about that. But all the supports will work to some degree. But these are the ones that you'll get the most value from. Now, obviously, you know, if the enemy team was running a certain comp and maybe you wanted like a load of burst AoE healing, you might still go for the Moira, maybe the Moira Batiste instead of the Moira Zen. So there's still a ton of options. But Zen Batiste, super strong for support. Hanzo, amazing DPS right now. So I think we best move on to Arisa. And let's talk about Arisa and why she's, well, yeah, she's just better than she was, which sounds kind of crazy to say. But yeah, let's get into this. Alrighty, Arisa, why is she better? Okay, so Arisa got 50 more armor, straight up. She also gets the, well, armor's more effective. So she's got 50 more armor, armor's more effective. Her barrier is nerfed, okay, it's not 900 anymore, it's 600, whatever. But she can use Fortify more often. So why does this make Arisa better? Well, barriers are nerfed. That's why Arisa is better. So in this crazy world where we've got barriers nerfed across the board on the main tanks, with the exception of Winston, but let's just keep it with Reinhardt, Sigma, Arisa, the main barrier tanks, let's call them. With them having less HP on the barrier, it makes Arisa more effective because Arisa can spam, which is pretty crazy, right? At range as a main tank. And Arisa can headshot, which does quite a bit of damage if she starts getting consecutive headshots on targets, especially squishy targets. Arisa can now make herself survive more longer as a reactionary, well, reaction. So if she's caught out of position, if she's caught in an enemy ultimate, maybe Sigma's ulti or something, she can pop Fortify more often, so she survives longer. Yes, her barrier is nerfed. But the thing with Arisa is she's going more into this brawler-style barrier tank. Yeah, she's still an anchor tank. She still locks down an area, but she's now much more happier roaming about a battle, just taking damage, mitigating damage on herself, physically using her model to tank with. So really, when we look at all the tanks that have been nerfed because of their barrier nerfs, Arisa wins because barriers have been nerfed. How crazy is that? That's all I want to really say about Arisa, guys. She's just going to be super strong. She's still the best tank. Now, in terms of tank combos, Arisa Reinhardt, yeah, I think it'll be okay. Arisa Hog, it'll be okay. Arisa Sigma, probably going to be better than we think it's going to be. Arisa Diva, I don't know. Diva, I don't think we're going to see too much of. Arisa Hammond, I don't know. But maybe we start seeing Winston Hammond, Winston Diva could start making a bit of a comeback. But the best tank in the game is Arisa. So if you want to play Arisa, go and play Arisa. But one warning I'm going to give you guys is this. If you played Arisa in somewhat of a brain-dead fashion, so you just threw down your barrier and just sort of stood there and fired, you're not going to be able to do that anymore because your barrier will get destroyed. And if you're not clever with the way you use your barrier, so deploying a barrier, maybe firing another one up into the air so it drops down onto the ground just as your barrier gets destroyed, so you're like maximizing your cooldown timers and knowing when to use Fortify and stuff like that. If you're not that good at that, you will suffer, but just persevere. You'll become a better player. But Arisa is a better tank than she was, and she's actually more interesting and exciting to play because you're not sitting behind a barrier as much. All right, guys, I'm in Salo, so this is Unit Lost. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of the best heroes to play in the new Overwatch meta. If you've got any ideas below or any direction you think you should go in or the meta will go in when the update launches, let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you lovely lot on the next one. Toodaloo.